Welcome to the Bookshelf Podcast, Episode 3, Dawn of Plot Threads. This is Karina, and I have with me Carlos and Gabe. We're going to start off this episode by talking about the anime season coming up for summer 2016. And I think we've all picked out a couple of new shows coming out that we're really excited about. I'm going to start with mine. The big leader in for me is Berserk.
Oh, yes. I saw the little teaser they had. I'm looking forward to that, but I'm a little worried that it's going to get affected by TV budget.
The studio who's doing it, this is their first time doing this really like shonen, action-y, gritty, dark stuff. They did a lot of moe shows. A lot.
Huh, that's a complete 180.
The director looks good. He did Devil May Cry. He did Bakemonogatari. So I have faith in it.
Wait, he did a Devil May Cry anime?
Mm-hmm. He worked on it.
Okay. That restores a little faith on that. What else?
91 Days, an original TV series. And the plot looks kind of insane. It's this revenge drama, and there's two guys. One of them's in the mafia, and one of them's just this normal dude. So far, we don't really have any other details, but the director worked on Le Chef de Rebellion, and the studio worked on Natsume. So this one I'm actually really interested in, just because it promises to look gorgeous.
Oh. So far, it kind of reminds me of something Studio Bones will make.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of a darker tinge. What is it that? Bakano.
It does. But hopefully there's going to be enough trains in there, too. Those action scenes were amazing. But they did Durara. So I trust in their action scenes.
Yeah, Carlos, what do you think are your picks
for summer 2016? Definitely gonna keep my eye on Berserk, because like Berserk is still kind of hard to translate thing for mass media. I always thought it was a better movie than it makes a good TV series, but I'm gonna see if this guy worked on the Devil May Cry. Maybe it will be all right. I know one thing that I'm completely hyped for. The Legend of Arslan Season 2. Hell yes. I never thought this thing was going to get another season, but here it is. It's the second season of Arslan Senki, a famous manga reinterpreted by the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. And yeah, if we're going to boil it down to layman's terms, is Full Metal Alchemist if a cross with Fire Emblem. In fact, Fire Emblem has a lot to do with the Legend of Arslan, seeing as the first Fire Emblem in the story of Mart is very influenced by the story of Arslan, which is a Bishonen-looking little prince who is out by his Persian kingdom, even though none of them look brown, by a usurper, and he has to gather an army of his friends and loyal subjects in order to bring it back. There is a lot of intricate military strategy, but there's also a lot of great action, a lot of drama, and I just love it. The people who directed this is the same guys who did Full Metal, and they've never gone wrong before, so I'm so glad. Also, it spawned a Dynasty Warriors spinoff, so if you want to play the Arslan Warriors, it's out right now.
Are we ever going to get the Dynasty Warriors game I've always been dreaming about? Civil Warriors with Abraham Lincoln with Stovepipe Hat that turns into a cannon?
I would not be surprised. I would have told you no, but then they made Bladestorm, and it's the Dynasty Warriors about medieval Europe. We're getting there.
It's specifically about the 100 Years War.
Specifically, the 100 Years War. Yeah. So, but we're gonna have to wait until then. Code name Steam. That's as close as you're gonna get to that.
Yeah. Let's see. But for me, the only ones I'm really excited about so far are Real Life, and Real Life seems to be a seinen series. That's usually what I'm kind of gravitating to more. And Servant. Yeah.
What in the world is this? This looks very card gamey.
Yeah, it seems to be one of those magical familiar who's kind of addicted to you kind of deals.
Uh-huh.
But Real Life
and
is
he's
one
a
of
guy.
those, but yeah, Real Life is one of those here's a young adult who's kind of a loser and everything changes. I'm kind of gravitating to that right now.
Well, I suppose I'm going to give something like Gundam Unicorn a pass. I'll take a look at it because, it's a very important thing over ever Gundam in the UC era, practically the end of UC era Gundam. And, for those who haven't seen the movie, it'll be nice to take a look at it from a more digestible piece every weekly episode. It's just after Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's kind of hard to go back to traditional Gundam storylines. Because that was so good. I don't care what anybody else said.
Speaking of which, there's also some movies coming out. There's an Excel World movie that's coming out this coming summer as well. Any of you hype for that?
Excel?
Excel World.
Is that like... Wait, no. Is that about the girl who is the henchwoman about the evil organization?
Nah, not quite. It's kind of...
No, that's Excel Saga. Never mind.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, Excel World is... I think it's kind of vaguely along in the same continuity as Sword Art, where
okay, then I'm
some
not.
Years before that, they have a technology that allows the internet to be pretty much all around you through stuff that's kind of in your neck. And there's a secret game that people can play that stops time for some reason, and it's pretty much it has its own consequences inside of that world. And after you lose X number of fights, like the memory of the game is deleted from your brain or something. Pretty much, the series ended on a note where, there's a manga that keeps going on, and I think this movie is going to take those plot points forward. At least I'm hoping. I really don't want the movie that does one of those recap type deals. I don't want it. I don't want it again.
You know what? In other words, I'll skip that and go watch Kimi no Nawa, which is it's a story about a comet that fallen the first time in 1,000 years in Japan. And it's about a high school girl living in the countryside who wants to live in the city. And it's a slice of life and romance, but something about the visuals just look really, really beautiful.
Is it going to be another 1,000 meters per second kind of deal?
It looks like it, but it's more like a body switching type of plot. So it promises to be interesting. But star-crossed lovers, definitely.
Definitely more interesting because I'll be honest, after Sword Art Online, I stay away from MMO plot lines anymore.
But Log Horizon's so good. So good.
Log Horizon is practically the only good one, but that's about it.
But .hack actually that's .hack's really slow. I think I really got into it mostly because it was so deep. Kind of shallow once you're in there though.
That being said, that was the summer. What about the spring? Is anyone waiting for anything that's coming up in a couple of months?
Not quite. As long as we're talking about games, what I want to recommend from the coming season is Rewrite. Because that's based on visual novel. And it promises, and the studio did Grisalia, which is another visual novel. So they are familiar with adaptations. Basically, the plot is that it's post-apocalyptic. There's these high schoolers who are living in a city, and all of a sudden, in the middle of their daily interactions and lives, there's some magical, fantastical elements. And the main character, who's this high school boy, has to deal with this harem and save the world.
Sounds like a lot like Shin Megami Tensei.
It's a key game, so there's lots of crying, lots of tears. You'll have your heart broken.
Everyone you love dies.
The true end was really good, so it's promising for an anime adaptation. But I fell in love with one of the main characters, and they totally shafted her in the game.
The things that look interesting to me right now are Setsui no Omoyoji and Joker's game. It's another seinen.
Yeah, Joker's game looked great.
Looks like a crime series, and I'm kind of really down with that.
Oh, that looks fun.
I guess on a final note, me and my brother are looking forward to Boku no Hero Academia. That's currently his new favorite right now, and I love the visuals. I'm loving how this thing is. Yeah, it's a typical shonen style battle manga, but it is so reverent to American comic books and the plot tropes that, you know what? I want to give it a chance. And of course, JoJo Season 4. I never thought we were going to get there, but here we are. We're finally past all the JoJos that everyone knows, and now we're getting the first adaptation of Josuke Higashitaka. One of the best JoJos of all time. It's going to be a little slow to start with, but it'll be fun. I promise that. Oh, and I think I'll give Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3 one more watch.
Give it up. Just give it up.
I know. I gave it up. I gave it up at Season 2, and then
switch it up to Terraform Mars. Come on, it's over. Stop.
No, man. I tried watching Terraform Mars. It's just like it's Attack on Titan with cockroaches.
And that's a problem?
That's the best part of it. And everybody dies every other episode, so.
But you don't have to get attached to anybody, Carlos. It's easy to talk about.
But I already saw everybody that I care about die in Iron Blooded Orphans.
Now you can watch everyone you don't care about die.
God damn it. Oh, what about Tonkatsu DJ Agataro?
What?
It's a weird anime about a guy named Agataro who works in his family tonkatsu restaurant, which is, pork in Shibuya. But he doesn't like it. One day, he's delivering at the staff of a nightclub, and the worker lets him enjoy the club for a while, and Agataro loves club music, and now he wants to be a DJ.
Oh man, I thought he wanted to become a host.
No.
The animation style feels it's like a Japanese version of Adult Swim.
Which actually has been going really strong, mostly through the Trigger. Ninja Slayer and Inferno Cop. I like that shit.
Are these going to be like mini episode type shows or like full 30-minute type deals?
It looks like it's going to be a mini episode type show.
It's going to be like, what is it, that Ghost Gun Cop thing?
Yeah, Inferno Cop.
Yeah, Inferno Cop, yeah. It's going to be like that?
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes, online only type deal?
Yeah.
It looks like it works for that kind of audience.
Also, apparently there's going to be a KK Sensei OVA? And like, what, really? I thought they're done with the show. It's called Osama no Restaurant no Osama. And that's it. No other details.
I'm drawing a black here. I can't even pretend to know about what you're talking about.
KK Sensei is Battle Blockade. It was like practically the best anime of 2015, or at least early 2015. Nobody could shut up about it. It was made by Naitao, who was the director of the creator of Trigun. Really good.
Are they fighting with food? What's going on here? I'm reading the show description.
Oh no,
I'm seeing.
It looks like they're following the 8th volume, so it's not going to be a recap at least.
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
What it is like they are secret society. Okay. They live in New York, where New York went into an apocalypse, and now New York is shared. It's like no man's land shared between humans and demons. But because it is New York, nobody gives a shit, and everyone just goes on with their lives. The only people
like regular New York. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So the only people protecting the people of New York from advanced demon crimes is a secret society called Libra. And they all fight using some weird blood techniques. But they're all really good, especially the leader.
Plus.
And
right. I remember the manga. The fighting is awesome in it.
It is gorgeous. I recommend you watch it. And it has the best opening and ending theme of 2015. You'll love it. Hell, we're going to watch like a couple of episodes when we come to your house, Gabe.
All right.
So is that it, or you wanna head on?
Yeah, there's some other stuff we could talk about. Pretty much for next up, I want to talk about pretty much the sales that have been coming out for March 2016. And right now, pretty much the top 1 slot goes to Batman. It was on the top 10. Of course. Then some Star Wars. It was number 3. Spider-Man, number 5. But in general, straight up, as far as Batman was the most sold character, but as far as like market share in like comics sold, Marvel's still on top.
No shit. So nothing happened.
DC's at 25%. And on down, it's Image at 8, around 8. IDW at 4.4. Boom at 4%. Dark Horse at 2.47. So how do you feel about these numbers So pretty much the top 10 for March was Batman 50, Power Rangers 1. That's amazing. Star Wars 17, Superman 50, Spider-Man 9, Darth Vader taking both 6 and 7 slots for 17 and 18. Deadpool number 8 for 8, Iron Man for 9, and Avengers Standoff, Assault on Pleasant Hill Alpha number 1, running out the top 10. I am really glad to see Power Rangers number 1 reaching that many people.
Yeah, I suppose so. I kind of read it, and unless you have like really great nostalgia for those characters, it doesn't really resonate with you. Points, it's nostalgia pandering. Other reports, they want to go a little deeper and have like very nice character beats. But I don't know. I can't just get drawn into the dramas. Like asking, okay, here's an interesting and fascinating character study about HR Puffle stuff.
About what? Like what? You want to know the internal life of Alpha 5? Do you want to have that happen? I mean, I kind of do. Paying $5. I'm paying $4 for this damn comic. Might as well.
That's the thing. I don't really care so much for those characters. I mean, that's great and all. That's the characters I grew up with. But overall, you're asking me to like all of a sudden to believe that Tommy has some deep personal drama that went on after his brainwashing as the Green Ranger, or Kimberly, has pressures from leaving high school in order to enter the Olympics. But A, I already saw that episode, and B, none of this stuff will actually matter in the grand scheme of the continuity.
Bullshit. This is coming from a Ninja Turtles fan. I call bullshit on that completely.
Well, look, first off, I kind of dropped on that comic after the continuity got way too complicated. So, and they already announced another ongoing TMNT universe. Seriously, guys? No more. Get your shit together before you start plugging TMNT all over the place at DW. But like, what I mean when it comes to Power Rangers and their maturity is like, I'm sorry. It's not like there's like a serious Power Rangers canon that I can look into to compare like I can with the Turtles.
All you have are the episodes, and now they have a whole new place where they can make stuff up.
I guess. Ultimately, you know what I would have wanted?
You really just don't have enough love for this.
Not really. Like, okay, you know what is hypocritical? If they didn't do Power Rangers Mighty Morphin, and if they did Power Rangers RPM, which I thought had a lot more dramatic material to work with, considering they're Power Rangers in a post-apocalyptic Boston.
I mean, wait, they're just Power Rangers in Boston. I don't know what's different.
Yeah, I guess it would. But no, that would have made it interesting. They made fun of their own tropes. They were very aware of what a Power Ranger meant. And I like that. Or another thing would be to make their own cast of Power Rangers. Just make something comics exclusive. And have people fall in love with that.
Yeah, but they're not able to crack the top. They're not able to crack the top 10.
No, that's true. That's what ultimately caused sales.
Also, even though you may find them uninteresting, there were several plot points that were kind of dropped in the original series anyway, so that we don't end up in a situation where these guys go to a peace conference and never come back.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Zach. We saw you at the peace conference. Where's Trini?
Exactly. Here she can live forever.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta wonder. Like, I wonder how much the actors are getting royalties for that shit.
No idea. But what is it? Do you want to check some of the top 10 for the graphic novels and trade paperbacks?
I'd rather talk about a comic book that is actually getting a lot of praise, regardless of its financial shortcomings.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. How about the biggest character that's coming out of Civil War? Black Panther. The Hesse Coates newest comic just hit stores last week and is getting a lot of critical praise. Critical praise in quotations.
Okay.
I mean, what you told me about this comic. What do you think of it?
Well, I'd say like I feel like it feels good, and I like the direction that it's going. But it feels like some of the praise is a little bit overblown for me, because It's his first comic, and it shows because art and wordplay interplay in the comic is a little lopsided. It's very word heavy, and there's not really a lot of give back and forth in this story. I like where it's going and setting up where Wakanda is now, what Black Panther needs to do, what Black Panther wants to achieve for his country and for himself, because his country is in a state of turmoil from previous events destroying parts of his country, and also trying to address larger themes that Ta-Nehisi Coates is trying to do, where he's trying to address some of the things of, yeah, he's a king in the modern world, and there's some reasons why that doesn't.
Such as?
Yeah.
One of the things that's kind of coming up is that since one of his decisions led to him being in previous comics exiled from the country,
impeached,
and like a flood destroying a portion of the nation as well. The comic opens up with like there being a riot happening at a mining facility. And
Ta-Nehisi Coates specifically mentions that this was inspired by the Boston massacres. The Baltimore massacres, and how people were angry about that.
Yeah, there's a woman who's mystically building up the anger that the people already have. Pretty much, people are being not gunned down, but lanced down because the cops have lances for some reason, and that kills people.
It's a super heroic metaphor for police brutality, as in nobody gets killed, but there's still somewhat colorful lethal force and force.
Yeah. Like cops have like some of his soldiers say pretty much like, I can't fire my own people type stuff,
while they're firing on their own people.
Yeah. And but in general the art doesn't seem to correspond with some of the words that's going on, where like the art isn't really dynamic with what's going on. It's pretty much like a flat plane of characters talking or the action scenes.
It's too prose heavy. Prose heavy. This is where we get Ta-Nehisi Coates' inexperience as a comic book writer and experience as a article editor from the New York Times. I mean, he's still very engaging, but
very engaging. I will say that it's very engaging.
Engaging does not equals entertaining at oftentimes, as we will get into later. I like the direction that it's going. I think it's one of the best Panther comics since Christopher Priest, because Christopher Priest was known for combining the political with the superheroic. He brought the warrior king aspect of the Panther into a big way over at the 2000. And unfortunately, he also created the stereotype of Black Panther being the Batman of the Marvel Universe, where I'm Black Panther, I'm technologically advanced, and I have a billion contingency plans, but I also am a king, and I have quasi-mystical powers, and I seem to know everything.
Yeah.
What I like about this series, this is the first time.
There's a lot of vulnerability for him.
Yes, there's a lot of vulnerability with T'Challa. I feel like this is the first time we've seen in a long while where T'Challa is somewhat human. Somewhat human, like his powers are subtly defined. Everything is in the suit. He has like abilities and gadgets that can help him. But other than that, he's more man than anything else. He's not like the guy in the Ultimates who can do anything.
On that other superhero team.
On that other superhero team made out of God, where he's practically Batman in the field of gods, solving space stuff and quantum theory. Yeah, he's still on that team.
Oh, okay. I guess whatever. I'm guessing this is another company push to have him have a bevy of stories to come up with as soon as his movie hits.
Well, not exactly, because they've been pushing him in the direction since 2006. Since he became part of the Illuminati?
Yeah,
no. Since 2014. Since he became part of the Illuminati, then he's been getting a bigger push to become...
upper echelon hero?
Yes.
Triple S class?
Triple S class, triple A, upper echelon of superheroes. He is literally the Batman of Marvel Comics.
No, but that belongs to Moon Knight because he's crazy. And he needs love, and also lithium. He needs lithium.
I know. I'm not exactly thrilled with what Jeff Lemire is going to be planning for that comic book. I saw it. I saw some previews. It looks beautiful, but after Mr. Knight, I don't know if I can go back, man. I don't know if I could go back from Warren Ellis.
Carlos, you said that you also had another book that you were reading, other than Black Panther.
Yes, I was reading something called Project Black Sky: Secret Files. This is an recent book from Dark Horse Comics, and it's supposedly a revitalization of some of their superhero properties. But what's most interesting is that this comic book trade is a collection of vignettes featuring dark retellings of popular superhero origin stories. Now,
what are the heroes that are in this?
I don't know if you remember this tale, but this is a little fairy tale that's been told around for a long time. A small meteor crashes down into a rural farm field. Turns out to be a rocket ship. Small town couple comes over there and they see a baby. And then that small town couple gets mind blasted by a secret government agency, and then that same government agency destroys the baby. Sounds familiar?
Yeah, pretty familiar.
Yeah, that's actually some of the tone that's going on with this comic. For the majority of this comic book, it features several stories taking place that is, like I said, dark retellings of popular origins. And one of my favorite ones is called Incident, June 16, 1961, the launch, where was essentially a alternate universe version of the Fantastic Four uses a 1960 quantum-powered engine in order to cross into the multiverse, in order to figure out how to ascend to past humanity. Only the difference is they're black, and somehow they make a lot more sense than the white Fantastic Four. Let me tell you this. Rand Roberts, the black Reed Richards, actually makes sense when he's talking technobabble. Black Sue is useful. Black Ben is not like a walking 1930s anachronism. And when he turns into the thing, he doesn't turn into a monster. He just turns into a giant black dude made out of onyx.
Okay.
Somehow, this one little snippet made the Fantastic Four cooler than whatever Fox wanted it to be. Imagine if instead of Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch, they just went all out and made them all black, and somehow that made them better. But unfortunately, they also meet that same government agency, and things don't turn out right for them. There's also one featuring a terrible reimagining of Green Lantern. There's one featuring ex-government agent who I can describe as the bastard child of Wolverine and Space Dandy. It is a Wolverine with a porn stash and a pompadour. He has a Elvis pompadour, and he's trying to stop the evil government agency. It was only until the last story where it gets into the Dark Horse universe, where they have several of the Dark Horse superheroes. And yes, there are actual superheroes for Dark Horse comics, such as the Spectral Avenger, famously known as Ghost. Maybe you remember her. Ghost, Man Out of Time, and X, who's like some kind of dark vigilante with an X over his face. I don't know much about these guys, but, you know.
Yeah, Ghost has been around for a long time, though.
I do know Ghost, yeah. And it's kind of nice to see all of this history have Dark Horse try to reimagine their superheroes. It will be nice because you rarely ever see this kind of stuff from Dark Horse itself. They're always like either licensed comics or creator-owned comics, and mostly in dark in nature. What is interesting about this is that in an age where movie studios either want to mass market superheroes for kids or darken it up for emo teenagers to cut themselves with, this thing manages to be dark and then immediately bounces back to inspirational at the last minute, where the Dark Horse superheroes take the fight against the government agency. It's basically what happens where the government agency messes with a bunch of superhero origins, and Batman, Superman, and a spectral Wonder Woman decided enough is enough. We're going after you. And they don't act like, murderers and stuff, except maybe the Batman wannabe. He's kind of brutal, but they act like, who they're supposed to be, archetypical superheroes. It's idealism versus cynicism. And that is something we have not seen from a certain 700 million plus international box office sensation.
I don't know. I think you're being too subtle here, Carlos.
Oh, I learned from the best. Thanks, Zach. You're my hero. There is no such thing as subtlety when we're talking about Batman v Superman. Dawn of mediocrity.
I thought it was I thought I was going to see a Blank Man versus Meteor Man, Dawn of Blackness.
That actually would have been better. Actually, hold up. I'm hoping Marlon Wayans is listening to this. We have your idea for your newest movie. It's not like you're not going to make a parody about this.
This is true.
You saw the movie. You were the only one who actually wanted to spend money to see the movie.
I wanted to see it with my friends. Good or bad. I thought, God damn it, Carlos, we saw Green Lantern together.
Yes, and we paid the price. And then we went to see X-Men First Class without paying the money. We did the reverse of what we should have done. I told you, we had the plan. We're going to go see Zootopia, then we're going to sneak in to see Batman and Superman.
Well, I tried to make that happen, and you couldn't get your schedule to work.
Well, yeah, no, you could have waited.
No.
It's a sad day, because if you're planning your weekend, Zootopia was hundreds of times better than the monstrosity that was Batman vs Superman.
Okay, let's take it from the top.
All right.
Karina, have you seen the movie?
I have. Thankfully,
Yeah,
I haven't spent any more than my time on it.
Yeah, so you start off with your criticism.
I will give from the perspective of somebody who's not entrenched into the mythology and every single little detail of it. I came in forgetting everything about Batman and Superman and The Flash, and I think I recognized Aquaman. Wonder Woman swept me off my feet. She was amazing. She saved the whole movie. It was trite, very Hollywood, lots of explosions and horrible sound effects. Lex Luthor was cute, but he's not a proper Lex Luthor. Really, I'm not sure what I was supposed to take away from it. It didn't leave me with anything resembling hatred, just plain indifference.
For me, it was more like I felt more hatred mostly because I saw a lot of elements from other stories used here to try to make bigger events out of what is fundamentally a weak script. And pretty much most of my nerd rage about this pretty much comes from seeing a high point of a good story used here to pretty much patch up a very weak story to set up for a fight that robbed that initial moment of any power it had completely.
There are a lot of moments in the film where it was like, if I understood where this is from, this would be like awe-inspiring or invoke some type of emotion, but it just fell flat completely. On its own, it had nothing to stand up on.
Well, this is what happens when you make a movie that satellites around one particular scene from one particular comic book. Above all, I watched the movie, but I can safely say I just torrented that shit and watched the cam version. Because it would be a crime to pay any money for this film, knowing the development cycle that was going on since the initial teaser over at San Diego 2 years ago. As soon as I started seeing the inspiration, the creative process regarding Zack Snyder and David Goyer's vision, I knew this was going to be a bomb. But I wanted to hold out hope. And
What gave it away?
ultimately, this is something that should have been a major red flag at the beginning. But I just kind of swept it away because, I was hoping this movie was going to be good. That Zack Snyder was, as immediately as he mentioned that his follow-up to Man of Steel was going to be Batman versus Superman, he said, it was inspired by Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. And like, no, that doesn't make any sense. No. Dark Knight Returns only works in the context of the comics world that it came from. It was supposed to be the character that was debuted in the 1930s dealing with the crime and violence of an exaggerated 1980s. It doesn't work in a modern context, let alone as a follow-up to another movie. But no, I ignored that because I knew the fight was visually going to look cool. And yeah, if there's one thing Zack Snyder knows what to do, is he knows how to choreograph a fight and make it look visually exciting. This is we found the superhero equivalent of Michael Bay.
Well, for me, it felt like that could have worked if this thing chose to tell one or two stories within its runtime.
Unfortunately,
it chose to tell 7, literally 7 stories.
Come on, Gabe. You know the words of the song.
Too many
cooks. Too many cooks.
Okay, here are the plot threads.
All right.
I have pretty much I have Man of Steel. That's the first plot thread. Then after that, you have
introduction to Batman.
What?
Introduction to Batman and the off-screen telling
Batman that Batman being fucked up. Okay, this is okay. Then we go to Africa, and then this is the part where the movie falls apart because they introduce another subplot where Lois Lane goes somewhere and gets interrogated by an African dictator. Superman comes to save the day for her and her alone because everyone else gets killed. Superman shows up eventually,
and he does this creepily with a smile.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they have other stuff of pretty much, the Superman statue in the place, and oh god, nervous is bubbling up.
Have we gotten to the jar of piss?
Yeah, that drives a fair amount of the plot, and if Lex Luthor was written better, that would have worked. The concept of Lex Luthor being a young new money type of person is okay to me.
It seems tailor-made for him.
I wouldn't say it so much, but more or less, I feel that pretty much the script just doesn't work. It's just too weak because you don't have any clear idea of what he wants. He kind of keeps jumping around, and there's a bunch of weird scenes that try to make him look, imposing, but don't really work. Like when he put the Jolly Rancher into the senator's mouth.
Yeah, that was just creepy.
Yeah,
but I felt that worked. The actor really tried to make it work. It was just like a little kid. There was just so much sexual tension and flirting all around him. He was just like, as a new money type who has no responsibility, daddy issues. It worked.
What was the name of that guy who charged like $1,000 for a pharmaceutical and then fucking gloated about it?
Martin Shkreli?
Yeah. I'm guessing this was supposed to be their knock-on Martin Shkreli?
This was most of the consensus for most people seem to be this is like knockoff Joker plus
is it that
plus
about
Social Network, who he was when he was in Social Network, like
Zuckerberg, Lex Zuckerberg,
a Zuckerberg type deal. But the thing is that the script is just too dumb to make that work because they try to use all these overwrought metaphors for God and the devil and child abuse.
Oh yeah,
who he is.
But is it about Zack Snyder and biblical influences?
They're not consistent with one another. So pretty much you don't really get an idea of like there's an initial scene at a party when like he kind of flubs his speech, and like that could have worked if it was clearer, but it's not. So his aims get shot all over the place, and his relationship to how he knows who Batman is, and how he figure out how Clark Kent and Superman is not really explained within the movie. So you don't know which way to look.
It's implied that he knew already when he did the party scene, and he was like, "Oh my god, my favorite couple, my OTP is right here."
And you do not want to. Oh, so subtly, you do not want to pick a fight with this guy.
Yeah.
Wink.
That was adorable. But what I don't understand is the end, where head shaving scene, and oh my god, it's so dark and gritty.
What do you mean, the rest of the movie?
Yeah, the rest of the movie, basically. I don't understand anything that happened at all.
Apparently, a lot of context was cut from the cutting room floor, including, I bet you've already seen this already, a scene where Lex is bowing down to some kind of weird alien holding a bunch of cubes. And that's supposed to imply a connection with Darkseid and Apocalypse, which is another looming plot thread going on over there. Hey, let's highlight what's going to happen over in Justice League.
Yeah, there's just too much going on here. There's too much going on.
Far too much.
The thing with the Flash, get it? Okay, so guys, are we okay with with it, even with as dark as this movie is, them introducing some genuine Silver Age elements with the Flash going fast enough to cross the Dream Barrier? Because you can do that if you go fast enough. Is that right, guys?
No.
Yeah, that was actually one of the where the surveillance video plus the Dream thing. That was pretty much sexy. I was okay with that. I didn't understand what the hell was going on, but it was cool.
Nah, man. I mean, compared to the... Look, I complain that the Flash TV show goes all over the place when it comes to the Silver Age fantasy tropes. But overall, they do it a lot more consistent. There's at least a genuine rule. Here, Zack Snyder just throws everything out for thematic importance. Oh, Batman is having prophetic dreams.
It advances the romantic subplot. It has purpose.
Not everything is a Joey harem, Karina.
Yeah, with Lois.
Okay, this is the only way this movie works for me. Forgive me.
Yeah,
pushing it so hard.
I will say that. Yeah, but I don't really don't like the way that Lois works in this movie, or in general.
Or Marta works in this movie.
What are you talking about? Everyone needs their mom. Their mothers are really important.
Yeah, it's not like the mother is just saying, save him or not. You don't have to give it to him.
That's not cool. That kind of wasn't cool for me. I was hoping for a contrast between Superman's outlook and Batman's outlook, so that their fight could have meaning.
But
when they both have the same kind of outlook, that kind of
different
makes
shades.
That fight mean nothing to me.
No. Well, to be fair, Batman's... Okay, let's be honest. As much as I do not like the fact that they're drawing from Frank Miller's giant, bulky, inner monologuing psychopath, Batfleck worked. Batfleck...
He saved the movie as much as it could be saved for me, because I felt that... I think he had a larger hand in being able to help craft his scenes and was able to flesh his character out.
Actually, just a reminder that
Henry Cavill as Superman, I've seen him in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I know he has the ability to be charming and inspiring, but this movie just doesn't allow him to do that.
No, it doesn't.
It's
also, it's kind of hard to sell when, Henry Cavill infamously just said, "Oh, I'm just into acting for the money. I don't really care about, the characters and scenes. I'm just in it because it's easy."
Well, I don't care what he cares about. The main problem for me is that, like, he has the capacity to do that. The script doesn't allow him to do.
No, that is not.
The script, the direction, and shooting of the scenes make Superman more like a walking nuke.
The tattooed god. And here's the problem with that. You said that Batfleck saved the movie. He literally saved the movie. If you don't understand that,
it could be saved, yes.
Yes, because originally this was written by David Goyer, aka Hollywood's hitman against comic books. And then all of a sudden, for some reason or another, both him and the grandfather of this whole concept, Christopher Nolan, were kicked out of the process.
I thought Goyer was kicked off because something else happened studio-wise. I don't know. He made some comments and some shit. It blew up. I don't know what that was.
It blew up. And, originally, they didn't want that. But a lot of his influence is still there. Him and Snyder was in the same pathway. When Affleck came along and he invited his Argo co-partner, Chris Terrio, into doing some rewrites for this film, where we got the current clusterfuck that we got. But let's be honest. If Goyer was there, we could have gotten a lot worse.
There's no real way to know because we're not going to be able to figure it out until afterwards because it's them, it's all of those people that we mentioned, plus obviously studio interference. Because
a lot of studio.
Hey guys, how do you feel about the trailers you saw inside of this movie?
Which one? The one that told too much, or the one who told too little?
No, the trailers inside the movie that we were watching.
Oh,
I'm not talking about the trailers for the movie. Oh, no. The trailer inside the movie that you watch with Wonder Woman, because, what's a cool thing for Lex Luthor to have? I'm glad that Lex Luthor respects his graphic designers enough to put logos on his secret files.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool, Carlos? There's work for you in LexCorp.
There was if I actually would have been confident in their leadership, but the guy acts like a total loon. He's not like my other boss, Clancy Brown. He was bold and confident and wasn't crazy.
Also,
seriously, what is it with Warner Brothers?
It's better than Bruce. He pretends to speak Russian. I could have lived without that. He was a shitty boss. I would rather work for Lex than Bruce.
That's true. And, there was those recurring nightmares I had when I was 13. Something about wearing tights and green underwear. Oh, holy this Batman. Holy this. Oh God, why doesn't it go away? What did he did to me?
How do you feel about our now ritual murder of the Waynes compared to the other murders of the Waynes you've seen film?
I still prefer the one directed in Gotham because that was the first time we've ever seen the raw anger and pain coming from Bruce Wayne. Yeah, even though he did scream like a little bitch. But I want to say in my headcanon that Bruce Wayne screamed so loud that he messed up his voice, and now he's permanently stuck talking like this, even when he was a child. Like, what are you talking about? I'm perfectly okay. This is the way I talk. But no, I will say this is pretty impressive. Having, having the comedian be Batman's dad and actually try to fight off Joe Chill before Bop.
Also, did you like the cinematic flair that they have for the gun slide breaking, the pearls and the fly out in slow motion?
That's just something you were saying, Karina?
No, it was beautifully done.
Yeah, that's something you can expect from Zack Snyder, no question. Ultimately, I just think he would be better. Zack Snyder would have been better suited if he just would have gotten the Batman Dark Knight Returns movie that he wanted. He obviously wanted. And, have someone else. Have fucking George Miller in charge of the Justice League movie. You've seen what he can do. And they botched him out? What is Warner Brothers thinking? And what is Warner Brothers' conflicting insistence that A, Lex Luthor is always going to act like a maniac. They did this since Gene Hackman. And B, that Superman is not a compelling character in order to, hold on to his own in the movie. And yeah, this has actually been a thing since the Christopher Reeve stuff. And Superman 2, it's all Zod all the time. Superman 3 had him second billing to Richard Pryor.
Well, wait, the Superman 2 actually worked. Superman 2 as a movie, Zod was compelling, and he had clear ideas of what.
It wasn't a failure. I never said it was a failure.
This movie's trying to set up like 16 sequels in one go, and that pulls you away from what's actually happening, and took time away from stuff like, who is Lex? What does he want? Why does he want it? Why does he hate Superman? For a clear reason. Don't tell me God and his father. Tell me something concise. I know you tried to make imagery with the painting in his house, but come on, the film is trying to be smarter than it really is, because the script
it came out being very pretentious, very pretentious.
Yeah, it was super pretentious. It's like not since Solaris has somebody put a painting in a movie to try to make it art. That was an awesome movie. I wasn't clear. Like, why does Batman hate Superman again?
Well, I like that part was clear.
That part was very clear.
Because effectively, at the end of the previous movie, Superman fighting another Kryptonian effectively caused Super 9/11 to a city.
It's true.
And I think if the movie wanted to stay consistent to, hey, there are consequences to causing Super 9/11, and one of those consequences is a Senate hearing, that would have been a clearer shot.
That would have actually been a stronger story point about Superman's conflicting issues regarding Super 9/11, how the world treats him. Instead of making him this like creepy, smiling stalker that's always going to save only Lois Lane. To be fair, though, after I saw the first Chris Reeve movie, they always portray Superman like that anyway.
Yeah, I guess it's more the case that when there are shots of him saving people, but they're done in slow motion, and he's presented in a light that makes it look kind of dreary because they use a kind of amber color filter, so it does look inspiring. The people he's saving look, more like people in a Jesus painting who are reaching up for Jesus rather than people who are glad for him to be there for his help.
It was interesting that shot where he goes to some South America or wherever, he saves the girl, that it was shot from above.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we have, the circle of people reaching for him, and it gets all weird because like you see his face, like, oh man, this is kind of
weird. The dream sequence, he's a god.
With the super dictator.
Super dictator. Oh, okay. So he wasn't having a dream; he was just envisioning injustice.
There's a dark side symbol, so I don't know. Maybe he's working with him. It's kind of all over the place with that. Not gonna lie.
The unfortunate thing is that all of that hatred, such justified hatred, would have been a lot easier to understand if Bruce Wayne was investigating, if he was actually detecting instead of just bum rushing to get any possible weapon he could use against Superman, no matter the cost, or if he even knew if that shit was gonna work. Who the hell did he think he did? He was thinking, okay, I have kryptonite, I have armor, surely I can stand against a guy who I just said they could destroy us at any point, at any minute. But I'm Batman. I
can accept him acting like a 6-year-old over that, but not about him going like, wait, Martha, now we're best friends. Now I'm gonna go introduce myself to my mother-in-law.
Okay, guys. What is the first names of your mothers? Just so that I can know that if you guys ever need to kill me, I'll be able to stop you in your tracks.
Not even close.
Seriously, like that just didn't work at all.
No, it did not.
If the script was written better, that could have been a meaningful moment. But the script is just too dumb. It just doesn't make it work.
So many possibilities.
And even worse, it was Affleck at that tone where he went into goofy Baleman territory, like, because what did you say his name? What her name was? Why did you say that name?
Yeah, because like they try to make it out for like Batman's realizing how bad he was. It just comes off as pretty much, hey, oh shit, this movie has half an hour left. We gotta wrap this up, guys.
Yeah,
like,
that was another.
Look at its watch, like, oh, we gotta set up for a fight. Guys, gotta knock it off, stop.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people were just hoping to get, if you're just one of those guys who didn't really give a shit about this movie and you just wanted to see the fight. Surprisingly, the fight didn't last that long.
It had some funny moments in it, like Batman hitting a increasingly invulnerable Superman as his kryptonite gas wears off.
With the toilet. Or was that a sink?
Yeah, sink.
Some sort of porcelain fixing. It was awesome.
Oh, you know what I thought was kind of funny?
Much, that's what this movie feels like, though. Superman getting clobbered with the sink over and over. Like, characterization-wise, that's what happens to his character. Like, he gets clobbered with the sink. Like, that's what this movie does to him. It's like, how to put this? He doesn't take the lessons that he learned from the previous movie. Stuff about pretty much that stuff that they kept talking about how he was going to be inspiring and stuff like that.
No, never happened.
This movie's like, I kind of don't want to do this. People are kind of taking me the wrong way to be a god, and like people still look at me all weird, causing billions and billions of dollars in property damage.
Yeah, no, it obviously shows a lack of respect to the character. But then again, Warner Brothers have a lack of respect for their intellectual properties to begin with. This is what happens when the studio. What?
Bigger lack of respect is that when he wasn't getting tossed around like a rag doll, he was groping Lois.
or
Like,
dying for our sins. Yeah, how is that? You know, when they ran out of material to use from The Dark Knight Returns, they decided to fill the gap with the last half of the death and return of Superman.
A part of me feels like it works. You're able to show off Wonder Woman. I kind of wish they chose another thing for him to fight. I didn't choose him to kill it. Chose him to be killed by Doomsday. But Wonder Woman, I felt like Wonder Woman came off very strong in this movie, mostly because it didn't fuck up her character moment. It at all.
They rarely show up her character at all.
Sweet time, looking at those videos in the middle of the movie because Wonder Woman seeing trailer for the Justice League is pretty important.
Especially her own trailer. Oh shit, I remember that. Why did I stop fighting crime for 100 years? Oh well, because my boy toy is dead. I miss you, World War I Chris Pine.
God, that picture was so nice.
It was, and it got me more excited for the Wonder Woman movie.
I could frame that and put that on my desk.
But one of the things that kind of got me was like, do you guys notice that movie wasn't really quiet at all? There was music going on at pretty much all times that was trying to, trick your mind into getting from scene to scene, but it kind of felt all over the place with regard to the music.
Yeah, this time it was Hans Zimmer and
she's looking at pictures and you see her theme pop up and it's really loud, really booming, and then there's nothing, or there's like a more subdued theme going on. Then she shows up again and it's loud and again, like
a lot of leitmotifs, like they used to do over at the Justice League cartoons. But it doesn't work without specific context, and it doesn't work almost all the time. The soundtrack was composed this time by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. And when it works, like the Wonder Woman theme song. Oh, amazing. Yes, fantastic. But other than that, it's like, do you remember in Dragon Ball Z, Bruce Falconer would just make up bullshit that goes along with the scenes, but he has leitmotifs that play over the characters whenever they say something important for just a couple of seconds, and then and then it switches off to another song for just a little seconds. That it plays toward the scene, but it doesn't add any dramatic potential.
Yeah, like I like the Batman theme that's here, but it's kind of omnipresent when he is on the screen, which is a lot of the time.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know. I didn't like
it, but not for much, and he doesn't inspire or have character moments that don't involve him scowling very much.
There was or murdering, or flat out murdering people.
You mean
and don't give it that bullshit about the '89 Batman murdering people too. He did that out of consequences. This one, he doesn't give a shit.
I did like the Arkham style combat that they showed off in this movie though. The way
that part was good.
A lot of. I guess this is a lot more Bat murder than I'm used to.
No, not. I don't even think Frank Miller's Batman ever went this far. And this is Frank Miller.
I would have preferred this Batman being cruel than killing dudes. Much.
No, that. Well, I guess it's like America being so indoctrined from Kevin Conroy's Batman.
This is a directorial choice. Don't pretend. Don't pretend that this is a comment on our society. No, this is a directorial choice.
No. This is not a comment on our society. This is not a comment on your society. It is a comment on the director who is not really engaged with that society. If he actually wanted to do something that was engaging to the fans, he would have took something safe, like the Conroy Batman that's been omnipresent since animated series and has been ingrained in our nation's youth with the Arkham games. Or Christian Bale's Batman. What he chose was a deliberate, big and bulky Batman so it could be believable that someone like him can take on Superman. But ultimately...
What? You mean the CrossFit montage? When you need to take on a god, you have to hit the gym. You can't be using your regular body. You have to hit CrossFit at least for a week.
Well, tell that to Captain America and Iron Man whenever they fight Thor. But yeah, no. Look, ultimately, I think that the Batman that he shows worked well for the themes that he was trying to convey in this movie.
Yeah.
And Affleck sold it. He sold the hell out of that. But ultimately, he chose a wrong Batman for the wrong time. And there was an essay that was on the AV Club where it showed how Christian Bale's Batman was a more inspiring superhero than Superman. That says a lot.
Yeah,
that also
one of
says
the
a lot.
things that makes that Christian Bale's Batman more inspiring is that he has clear ideas and goals of what he needs to do and what he wants, so that he can achieve his thing of making the city better. His villains have clear ideas and goals of what they want to do to kill him, to impede his way, to get what they want. And the thing is, for the Superman movie, his struggle is pretty much with himself and his Earthborn father. And they don't reinforce that, you got to try to be better. You got to try to, maybe you should use these powers to help other people. And then kind of figuring out, maybe I should help other people.
You want to talk about like how they're not enforcing the Kent's ties to Superman and his how they ground him. How about the fact that there is no discernible difference between Superman, Kal-El as Clark Kent, and Kal-El as Superman? They're practically one and the same.
That's a distinction I think you can only really make in comics, not here. Partially because there is no sense of my Kryptonian side is important to me. It's more like this is a kind of hand-me-down stuff. This is where I'm from, but it's not important.
It's not that. It's not that. It's the difference in acting tone. It's the difference of a subtle acting, where Henry Cavill can convince us Clark Kent is a different person than Superman, but he's not like that. He's literally just Clark Kent acting the same as he was if he was Superman.
Yeah, like when he was arguing with Perry over his story, he pretty much used the same tone of voice, except there's one difference between Clark Kent and Superman. Superman uses bullying a whole lot more.
Oh yeah, well, like I said before, this is what happens when a company is so embarrassed by the superheroes that they carry that they will do anything in order to try making them contrarian without actually making it thoughtful. Look, I get it. You guys are responsible for the oldest cavalcade of superheroes' intellectual properties in the world. I mean, Superman is the superhero. He created the term superhero. But, I guess for a company that is so desperate to be young and hip among the modern audience, that makes you feel old. Adequate terms of truth, justice, in the American way, you may have some kind of paranoia that you feel that it's not justified for a modern movie-going audience. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. If you were in 2000, dumb fucks.
Most of my beef from this movie is that, I had problems with Man of Steel. I thought it would build on those ideas.
And it never happened.
Yeah, the thing is that the character of Superman in this movie is the same as he was before, more or less. And then they kill him. So I don't know. I know they're gonna bring him back for Justice League the movie, and also this creates another problem for me in that after he dies, they have a nice thing of pretty much where they have a much more subdued Superman memorial, where they say, if you want to look on his work, if you want to see his works, look around you. But I thought this thing was he wanted people to not kind of worship him as God. He just kind of wanted to help people.
And in the end, in his death.
But the thing is that he's gonna come back. I don't know how that helps. Straight up, I don't. How does that help? How does that help coming back?
No. Unfortunately, it just keeps going with the thematic themes. In fact, there is a rumor going on with the Justice League movie that Darkseid's coming would trigger the return of Superman, and thus it's the devil coming and only Jesus or God is able to save us. It has too much religious imagery over here, and it's not working.
Carlos. I thought we have Kryptonians listening. We're not talking about God. We're talking about Ra.
Very well. Wait. Oh, right, that's true. Ra is the god. But I thought
Ra's Kryptonian god.
Then who's the Kryptonian devil?
I don't know. I'm not that nerdy, man.
Me neither. No, I'm sorry. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, man. Ra is dead. Man killed Ra. Man created Ra. Man killed Ra, and then man killed Krypton.
Everything I know is a lie.
So ultimately, this is too much of a clusterfuck.
I'm still hyped to see Wonder Woman though. It's being directed by someone else.
Patty, someone.
I really want to see her succeed, but
have you seen the set pictures of the Amazons?
Yeah, they have cast pictures so far.
You know what? You know what it reminds me of? And I know a lot of critics are gonna go against Wonder Woman in this, but I don't care. Let Wonder Woman be the Captain America of the DC universe. Yes, I fully encourage the comparisons because the first Captain America, while it was not everyone's favorite Captain America, was a big difference in the tone, setting, and idealism compared to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was a period piece, and it helped it so much. So I think it's going to do the same thing. This looks like a classical 1920s pulp action adventure. What?
1910. This is World War One.
Yeah. This is like a classic.
World War, the first version. You see, it feels like World Wars are like Street Fighters. Everyone forgets the first one because it was kind of bad, kind of sucked, and like all the stuff didn't work together as easily.
Yeah, it wasn't exciting, and it didn't have any like engaging faces like your Hitlers, your Roosevelts, your Stalins.
There were no supers in the form of nukes.
Yeah, no, we didn't got that. But after that, it became commonplace. But nobody in grand tournaments ever used it. That was a whole thing over in the Cold Wars, but no one ever used it. Everyone just decided to use it for meter.
I don't know. I think the actress works really well for this down-to-earth sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to the movie. But what do you think of her accent?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Wonder Woman not speaking American.
Yeah,
I'm like, it feels like it's a good contrast to the other heroes who lived, are born and raised in an American society. Wonder Woman speaking like everyone else,
or with a British accent.
Yeah, with the accent other than pseudo British, kind of works for me. Mostly because it helps set her apart from the other two.
And not to mention, it enforces her mythological ties, which I'm very glad that her movie is going to be encouraging. It's going to have your Amazons, and it's going to have the horrors of World War One. So I'm really looking forward to that. But they need to be able to respect the material. The studio has to stay the fuck away from this film. And they need to let Suicide Squad breathe. This was their Hail Mary. Batman vs. Superman was their Hail Mary pass, and they fumbled again with the same guy again. After this...
Yeah, Suicide Squad's going through like lots of reshoots right now.
Going through lots of reshoots, and for that, they cannot be pressured in order to be competing with Deadpool. Because this is what it feels like. It's like they're not trying to give levity in order to have criticism against Batman Superman as much as they're trying to have levity in order to copy a more successful movie, Deadpool, while missing the entire point of why it was a success in the first place.
Yeah, most of what they're saying that they're altering is pretty much having some more levity and more character interaction moments, which, if I'm believing them, if they had better character interaction moments, that could do the film some good. Because
on paper it sounds good. Yeah. On paper it sounds good. I'm not so sure about practice. It's weird when I saw the trailers for Suicide Squad. That became my most anticipated movie beyond Batman Superman. I didn't want to see the clusterfuck that we got. I want to see Suicide Squad. But now with these rewrites, I'm a little worried. And if this doesn't work, and if the studio interferes with Wonder Woman, they're done. They're done.
You mean I'll never get my Cyborg movie? But I want a Cyborg so badly because he has great stories that are non-Titan, just him by himself, like
him by himself and Monitor Duty.
Also, yeah.
Also, transhumanism, sort of. We get into that,
actually,
but it
you know
doesn't.
what? Hold up.
Oh man.
Actually, here's an idea you could use for Cyborg movie. You just jack one of Steele's ideas, one of Steele's plot points, and you go.
So, in other words, he just goes on the internet and just steals everything that Co makes.
What? That's what Steele did. Is that New 52 Steele? Stealing ideas from the internet?
No. Steele's whole thing was Shaquille O'Neal somehow is a military engineer, And then all of a sudden, his ideas is getting thrown out as weapons on the streets of Detroit. And he still can't do a three-way. I mean...
Wait. Oh, seriously? Oh, that New 52 Steel?
Oh, no, that's not New 52 Steel. No,
movie?
that's not New 52 Steel.
That's...
No, New 52 Steel is basically Black Iron Man. And I'll be honest, I have not seen that guy in a long ass time since Action Comics, so yo.
Yeah, he's got a liquid steel armor thing going on. So it's
that was pre Flashpoint. That was pre Flashpoint.
No, I mean, I think I was reading Unchained, so maybe I might be bullshit.
Yeah.
It was Action Comics. It was Action Comics. I was reading Superman Doomed. Yeah, that's current.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, he had liquid armor. Sorry.
Yeah, well, ultimately, don't worry. You're getting a better black superhero when Black Panther shows up. I hope. Please, Marvel, don't fuck it up for Ryan. Just let him do his thing.
What are you talking about? They have actual confidence in themselves, so they can take risks.
Yeah.
However, as far as superhero conflict stuff goes, it's either Civil War or the Deadpool season 2 episode
Daredevil season 2.
5.
You're talking Daredevil season 2?
Yeah, Daredevil, where they have Daredevil and Punisher interact.
The interactivity with the Punisher and Daredevil is kind of spot on. Very John Bernthal sells that character. I have never seen Frank have a level of humanity since Tom and Jane. That's hard to top. So no, yeah, I'm sorry. Marvel takes it. DC needs to finally have confidence in the term superhero. They got to stop hiding behind Batman and understand what advantages they have from having these mythological figures as part of their roster of intellectual properties. You can have your over-the-top, bigger-than-life superhero films as Zack Snyder promises, but you just need to lay off all of the pretentious thematic elements that he pushes so much.
No, they have to finish. They have to at least finish it off. They need to finish off Superman being Jesus. Just a little bit less of it.
Yeah, but you realize that's going to make Justice League. No, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Jesus League. It's gonna be the Jesus League. Everyone's a Jesus metaphor. Everyone. Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Aquaman, The Flash, all Jesus metaphors.
Well,
it's gonna be awesome.
You know what? Let's end it on that.
Because we're not kidding ourselves. They are gods on Earth.
They are gods on Earth, but the whole point about them is they're supposed to be inspiring gods, not fearful.
Are you kidding?
Except for Batman.
No, he is inspiring. He inspires shareholders to invest in him, so get maximum profits.
I'm pretty much invested in the Old Testament of God for this.
Yeah, I guess the thing is that all of these concepts are good. These characters can work with them. It's just that the script is just too lazy to make it happen, and it kind of tries to tell you what the meaning is because it doesn't have enough confidence in itself to make it apparent through symbolism that it keeps jamming down your throat. It just keeps looking weak.
Yeah, the scripts, the music, they're all really pithy and strong on their own, but they're scattered, confused. And it ends up being, even though they're trying to jam the plot down your throat, you have no idea what's going on.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we could end up talking about this movie for another hour. So, you're going to wrap this up, Carlos? Man, I'm tired of being angry.
I've never tired of being angry, but I'm going to condense it into subdued rage for now.
Good therapy.
Yeah, good therapy, guys. We blow it out of our system.
You know what? Fuck it. Next book show, we're going to talk about Superman. Just all Superman.
You know what? Yeah, that's actually a good topic. Because that way, we can actually examine some of the problems Warner Brothers as a whole has with the character. Why are you so embarrassed about Superman? It's Superman! Whatever. Final thoughts.
Wait for Civil War.
Karina,
I don't want to be Marvel. I don't want to be a Marvel fanboy, but sorry, just
at least until Valiant shows up.
Them I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Wonder Woman and Valiant. I have no faith in anyone.
I'd echo that.
My faith is gonna waver among all of them. DC got a man to fuck up and stop hiding behind Batman like a bitch. Marvel, they gotta stop with their assembly line and do more risk.
They'll stop doing it when it stops working, Carlos.
At least not with Black Panther. They fuck up Black Panther, they're gonna have some problems.
Man, they have a whole lineup of black superheroes they can do. Also, Cloak and Dagger, they're getting a series. Cloak and Dagger,
Okay.
they're getting a TV show.
Yeah, they got a TV show, but come on.
They got
Like
Luke Cage.
who?
They fuck up Black Panther, man. Luke Cage getting bumped up the big screen. That's what's going to happen.
Don't worry, they got 99 problems.
Exactly. They have too many successes. People have faith in them. You see that they have more problems than that. They don't have a vision that's clear, so everything is falling apart around that.
Yeah, they do. No, they do have a vision. They do. They have a very clear, concise vision. Fuck quality. At least it made money.
The movie's currently at the break-even point, Carlos. You need to make a profit because these $400 million monstrosities, they need to have branding deals.
Well, they just like last Tuesday they pushed past the 700 million mark internationally.
Okay, their merchandising programs are doing really well.
Okay,
that's what kills me.
Because that's one of the things that I heard, that they tried doing something with the NBA or tennis or something like that, and that branding deal fell through because they didn't get the return they wanted.
But that's more of NBA's deal. Like, they have their own problems going on there. So I don't really blame the studio for this one too hard, which is different for me, I guess. But they've been doing really well in every other area. Like, just straight out merchandising, they're killing it.
Batman cereal, Superman cereal.
Retailers are all like, oh, superheroes. And that's the only thing on their shelves. They really jumped on Batman v Superman.
Who wouldn't?
They're not even looking at the movie. Surprisingly, it's selling.
Well, yeah, the merchandising allows for a lot of things. Because you can have Batman and Superman action figures, the classical thing of having an action figure of stuff that never takes place in the movie that just has like overmolded plastic from a costume from a previous movie, Superman holding an axe or something, stuff like that.
That and a lot of the manufacturers, they're really up and up on Wonder Woman. So
yeah, that's actually a big concentration in the merchandise.
Really
the fact that you're getting a live action Wonder Woman.
She hasn't been exploited at all. So you have regular action figures with her, dolls with her, Barbie shit.
Which is awesome. And everything looks gorgeous with her. Like, people are taking her very seriously.
Very much. If there's one positive to this, is that Diana is finally getting her due.
Yeah, it is good that's one good effect of this movie. It does revitalize her brand as being valuable because people see the value in that and like.
It's weird because for a movie that's supposed to highlight Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman is the best thing about that.
Yeah, but at least maybe they looked at like, where's Ray, and then they smartened up a little bit.
Huh? What do you mean, where's Ray? Are you talking about like Star Wars?
Yeah, with the Star Wars thing that. Not on any merchandise. Women, girls, not on any merchandise. What the hell? But
yeah, I thought
for Wonder Woman,
I thought Finn was the main character for a really long time because of
well, you're definitely not gonna get that at the latest Rogue One trailer. Oh boy, it's gonna be Force Awakens all over again.
I hope. Well, who's directing it?
I forget that. I know it's not Abrams. It's somebody else.
Yeah, because like they might learn from it because part of my deal with Force Awakens was Ray was good.
May Ray Sue.
And I know they wanted to learn to get better, but if you show her be awesome at everything, why do you have to team?
Whatever. But hopefully our faith in hero and comic book and sci-fi properties will be strengthened over this summer. And if not, we got a whole bunch of awesome anime on its way. So.
Hey, come on! I thought you'd be optimistic about what is it? The Ninja Turtles movie.
I'm sorry. Even if I'm told 80 years old, I'm going to wait for my R-rated comic book based TMNT movie.
Why would you want that?
You know what? I want that. I've always wanted that. That was the one thing we were waiting for.
Who's we?
It's just you.
Yes, the five of us who like the comic books over the cartoons.
You're not going to get the Deadpool perfect storm of an actor who really loves it, a director who really loves it, a writer who really loves it, and a crew who really loves it.
I think I should announce that I'm going to be studying film. All right. Until then, lead us out, Karina.
All right. This has been Bookshelf Podcast. What's our episode title? Oh, fuck. I don't have my notes. I crawled
Dawn
into the
of Plot Threads. Dawn of Forgetting Notes.
I crawled into the conference room. That's why it's been so quiet.
God.
All right. That's it for the Bookshelf Podcast, Episode 3, Dawn of Plot Threads. Peace out. This has been Karina, Carlos, and you. Fuck. Dean. No. You know this is bad.
Bye, Dean. Bye, Karina. Bye, fuck.